Hey, welcome to the channel, Shake Hands with Destiny, where our whole entire thing is all about teaching you about faith and finance. Why? Because I only shake hands with my destiny if you shake hands with your destiny. So before we get started and jump right on in here today, there's a couple things I want you to do. Go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel. If you like the content that we give to you afterwards, go ahead and like and subscribe and share this information, right? The second thing is what I want you to do is go ahead and meet my invisible co-host Shanika. Shanika is who I'm going to be talking to today because I know y'all ain't got no issues or nothing like that. Hey, I already know. I already know. They told you that bankruptcy is going to be on there 7 to 10 years. Nope. They didn't tell you that little loophole that we're going to use to get this bankruptcy erased, okay? And look here, it may take us 6 months to get it rid of it. It may take us 9 months. It could take 6 weeks, okay? So remember, the name of this game is persistence. But I'm going to give you 7, 8 or so quick steps. But don't worry, I'm going to go every step of the way with you through this process, okay? So the very first thing is what I want you to do is pull your credit reports from your annual credit reports for your Equifax, TransUnion, and also your Experian. But I also want you to go ahead and pull them from your secondary agencies and your data miners, okay? Such as for peak sake, we're gonna say Lexus Nexus, because that's generally who 95% of the time holds that bankruptcy, okay? And so once you pull your Lexus Nexus report, what that's going to allow you to do is make sure they are furnishing that bankruptcy. The next thing is what I want you to do is freeze and opt out of that Lexus Nexus, okay? So that's the next thing is what you're going to do. That's going to suppress and freeze. You'll see that. Go over in the portal there, and you'll see where you can do that. The next thing is what I want you to do excuse me, is you're gonna get what you're gonna send off that validation letter that you're gonna send directly to who? LexisNexis. What are you doing? You're seeing if they're going to validate the bankruptcy. It's great if they don't, but most likely they're gonna send it back 99% of the time as what you call verified or validated. Okay, which don't worry. That's great news. We setting them up for the okie doke, okay? Because remember I told you about that little loophole? That loophole is called the verification, okay? That's where the loophole is in 15 USC 1681 AE. What that means is when they do what you call an investigation, did you give them the permission to call your neighbor, your friends, and do an interview? No. Two, did they actually do an interview and say, hey, did Joe I want to interview him. How is his finance? How is his character? No, he didn't. I'm paraphrasing. No, they did not do that. What they did to verify, they utilized a system called Pacer. And Pacer is electronically done. And according again to US 15 USC 1681 AE, that is not under the proper term of what Congress calls an investigation. So we actually want them to send that back as verified or validated. Why? We got them in, baby. Because the next step is what you're going to do is now you're going to send a letter to the bankruptcy court's clerk office where you filed that, okay? You're going to address that letter. It's already right below. You're going to send that to the letter saying, hey, what are your procedures and your qualifications that you guys utilize to report to the credit bureaus? They're going to say, wait a minute. We don't even report to the credit bureaus. What are you talking about? Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. LexisNexis is saying they got the information from y'all and y'all didn't send it, right? That's correct. We got them, baby. So you're going to send that letter to the courthouse. The courthouse is going to, clerk's office is now going to send it back to you in a rebuttal, and they're going to say, hey, we didn't send your information to the credit bureau. And then what's going to come next is now you're going to send another rebuttal back with the next letter. You're going to say, hey, LexisNexis, we're using them as it could be one of the other credit bureaus. Y'all lied to us, okay? We got you, okay? Y'all didn't get your information that way. You got your information from Pacer, not from the bankruptcy court. And can I prove it? Because the bankruptcy court just sent this letter back saying that we didn't get it. So that's how we're going to utilize that to get that removed. Then what you're going to do is, if you don't want to send that letter back to LexisNexis, you can also call them and you can hold. It's about being persistent, okay? And once you've gotten that off of your LexisNexis report, you're going to now repeat the process and send that first validation letter to TransUnion, Equifax, and also Experian, and repeat the process. If they send it back saying, hey, we verified the information, what are you going to do next? You're going to then automatically do what you call a complaint to the CFPB and also to the Attorney General's office. Which one? Where you actually filed it, that's one. But you're going to also do a attorney general. You're going to file also with wherever the credit bureau state is, i.e. Georgia, i.e. Pennsylvania, i.e. Texas, wherever the credit bureau that's saying it's verified, that's where you want to actually file that, okay? Hey, but again, you're going to see me in a minute. Let's go ahead and erase this bankruptcy. Hey, I only shake hands with my destiny if you shake hands with yours. All right, this is vital information. We want to opt out of Lexus Nexus, okay, and freeze that report. Just click that button right below, and you're going to be able to freeze that report because that's going to mean a lot in the steps. It may take a few months down the line, but we got to make sure we do that step right now. So don't forget. And if you have not frozen the other ones either, go back into where we have it where you suppress ARS and some of the other Innovest, Sage Stream, and some of those other ones as well. Go ahead and suppress all 5 for right now and go ahead and freeze and opt out of, at the bare minimum today, go ahead and do Lexus Nexus, okay? Get that done right now. Like right now. Click. Hey, y'all, only shake hands with my destiny if you shake hands with yours. Hey, I'm glad you got your credit report, right? So now you can see that Lexus Nexus is actually furnishing that bankruptcy, okay? So what you're going to do now is go into that validation letter. That's the first thing that you're going to do. When you send this validation letter to Lexus Nexus, what I want you to do is I want you to send that certified mail, okay? Make sure you get your docket number put on there as well. Go ahead and send your a copy of your driver's license number as well. Put your social security number on the letter as well. And if you have a utility bill just for current address, that's great, but you don't have to have that done. Okay, if you want to do an affidavit, you can, but you're ready to get this thing set off. That is the very first step. So go ahead and drop that in the mail, and I'll see you soon. Again, what? I only shake hands with my destiny if you shake hands with yours. So LexisNexis just came back and said, or it could be another credit bureau, but we're going to use for the example. LexisNexis just came back after that verification letter, and they said, what, y'all? They verified the bankruptcy. All right, then we got them exactly where we want them, right? Because they didn't interview your relatives, they didn't interview your cousins, they didn't utilize that 15 USC 1681 AE law where they utilize the proper investigation, which Congress says that they have to do. So now what are we going to do? We got them exactly where we want them. Now you're going to send that letter to the where? To the clerk's office. Okay, gather up all your information, make sure that docket number is on there, send that letter to the clerk's office, asking about their procedures. We already know what it's going to come back and say. They're going to come back and say, hey, we didn't send any information to any credit bureaus or credit consumer reporting agencies. We don't even do that. I know, but we want to send the letter saying, what are your procedures, ma'am? And that's what they're going to send back. And we're just going to sit back and wait for the rebuttal. Again, make sure you send with that letter to the clerk's office. Make sure you send a self-addressed envelope for them to return it back, okay? Put a little smiley face in there for them too as well. Hey, y'all, remember, I only shake hands with my destiny if you shake hands with yours. Yeah, yeah, baby. So we got that letter back right from the court. What that letter say? What that letter say? What it say? That letter said, we do not even send any information to any credit consumer reporting agencies, is what it says, right? So I want you to keep that letter. Make sure you're putting all of this up. We're getting our evidence together now, right? So what I want you to do now, because you have evidence that LexusNexis did what? They lied. They told a lie, barefaced lie. One, you didn't give them permission in the first place. Two, they didn't do the right information. We got these things stacking up. They're going to owe you some money here in just a second, okay? So we're going to now do what? We're going to now send that rebuttal letter back to LexusNexis. And that letter is basically going to say, quote unquote, they lied in a professional way. Or you can also call LexusNexis at this time and say, hey, I have all of this information here. I have that you guys did not tell the truth. I understand that the investigation was not correct. I understand that I did not give you permission to give out my information in the first place, okay? Or according to 15 USC 1681 A4 or 15 USC 1681 B2, we have permissible as well. So we have a lot of stuff against them. So you can call them and say, and ask to speak to a manager. You may hold for hours, but you can get this done and removed over the telephone, okay? If you choose to do that. Once it is removed, okay, then you want to do what? Do the same validation process. Go back to the very first link below. Click send the validation once it's removed from LexusNexis, the bankruptcy. Now you're going to send that information to who? Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. We're going to start that process over. Hey, y'all remember, I only shake hands with my destiny if you shake hands with yours. Let's go. Alrighty, so you sent that validation letter over to Experian, over to Equifax, over to TransUnion. And guess what happened? Two of them got erased, right? Right? Maybe so. But maybe one of them didn't get released, okay? Or maybe two of them didn't. They came back as verified as well. So if all of the bankruptcies did not come off from Experian, TransUnion, and also Equifax, what I want you to do now is send a letter to the Attorney General's office where you filed. Also, whichever credit bureau is reporting it as verified, I want you to send a letter also to that Attorney General's state as well. So what you're going to be doing is sending one letter to a complaint to the Attorney General in your state. If it was Alabama, Alabama. And then if the credit bureau is in Texas, you will send the other complaint to where? Texas Attorney General. So that's one complaint. The next one is going to go to the Consumer Financial Protection, the CFPB. I can't talk all of a sudden today. You're going to send the other complaint to them. Just click the link below, and you're going to send those complaints, and then you should be seeing this bankruptcy come off here soon, okay? Hey, y'all only shake hands with my destiny if you shake hands with yours. Let's go.